Hey, so I just want to show off a quick item script here, and it's going to need a little explanation. So, this is a Thanos snap. It's an item that will basically kill half the enemies in the room, skipping all boss types and enemies marked with the not beatable enemy flag. It has a cooldown, and it has a charge up. So the charge up is a parameter given in frames, and if you get hit during the charge up period, it cancels the snap. So you have to be able to go without getting hit for however long you set. And then the cooldown can optionally be written to a counter, which is the third parameter, um, which you can use to like display it on your subscreen or something. Though if you set the counter to 0, it won't use the counter at all. It doesn't need it. That's just so you can display it or read it from another script. But if you use a counter, you also need to use the accompanying on launch and on continue script. It's actually the same script. You just need to put it in both of those slots, or combine it with your other script in those slots if you have such. Otherwise, the counter won't be at 0 when you start up, which is a problem. Um, so that's a problem if you care. If you don't want to have to do that, then you can just as easily not use the counter. Just leave D2 as 0, and it won't use anything. Which also means you can't use the rupee counter, which makes sense because that would be stupid. But yeah, so I'm just going to pull this up here. There's also 2 modes, so I'm going to show off both modes. So firstly, snap, half are dead. I have uncap on, so it's running fast. Yeah, let's turn that sound down a little. Yeah, actually, you're not even hearing the sound. I don't have sound recording on. It plays a sound effect, which is set as the use sound. But yeah, so charging and snap. Right now, they drop items, and if I leave the screen and come back, those enemies are still dead via temp no return. If you tap and enemies always return flag or whatever, then that won't happen. But this doesn't bypass that, but they will stay dead in this mode. This mode is flag 0 in the item editor flags tab is unchecked at the moment. So this is kill mode. It actually kills the things. Here I'm going to snap. There's 10 enemies. There's 2 Aquamenti of each type and 6 Octoroks, and this is going to kill 3 Octoroks because the Aquamenti do not count at all. They are ignored because they're a boss type. Basically, any boss type or segmented enemy type, because segmented enemies, that would not work well, are ignored entirely, as well as the unbeatable flag enemies. Just switch that. So, checking flag 1. No drops. Leave and come back. Still there. Now, how did I accomplish that? Well, that's using, the first mode is using HP equals HP silent, which means like negative 1,000. So it kills them and they drop their stuff and it doesn't make their death sound. This mode instead uses NPC remove. Doesn't kill the enemy. It outright deletes the enemy from existence. Just gone. Dusted. So no drop, but they come back. And they come back. So yeah, that makes it much more temporary. Just offering both modes for whoever wants whatever mode. Both useful. And for the record, that counter is that's just on the passive subscreen using the engine subscreen editor. So it's just it's reading the current number of seconds left on the cooldown. And basically how this is working is the item script is still running. Item scripts can run for multiple frames, and you can't start the item script while it's already running. So I'm not disabling any input buttons or anything. It's just if you try to use this item, it doesn't do anything because it can't start the item script because the item script hasn't stopped yet. Um, so you can't use the same item script multiple times, or the same item's script multiple times at once. So here, the script ends. So launch it again. And that's really all there is to it. Bye.